And it's a real privilege to be part of it. On to why we're here today. Uh, Part of that boom has clearly been a national boom and possibly an international boom, which we'll talk about in a bit. But New York City has been completely transformed in these last 10 years. I'm a lifelong New Yorker from a family of New Yorkers, married to a New Yorker. It is amazing to see what's happened in New York over the last 10 years. And I mean, just by way of example, so in 2007, uh, just as a starting point, we had the early stage seed funding in New York was 1/3 of what Massachusetts had and 1/13 of what California had. Over that time period, if you look around today, there's thousands of technology startups across the city. There's intense competition for the grad students and the undergrads coming out of the universities. There's 150 incubators, co-working spaces, and accelerators around the city waiting for the startups to come. There's meetups and events. There's big raises and big exits from some of the firms in New York. So just to throw out some, MakerBot, Shutterstock, Tumblr, Etsy, Huffington Post, and others, and big tech companies planting their flags here. So Google, Twitter, and others doing a lot of hiring, taking over whole buildings. So it's a really amazing time in New York. This last year, VC investment in the city we're starting to pretty regularly match or even outpace Massachusetts. We still got a long way to go for California, sadly, but hopefully we'll get there. But we're certainly catching up. The gap is closing. And one thing to note is it's not just tech. Tech's gotten a lot of the press, and is certainly where a lot of the early momentum is. But as the panelists will no doubt talk about, it has been an amazing couple of years for bioscience. Many of those initiatives were from people on the panel or their organizations. We have Harlem Biospace opened up near Columbia, the Early Stage Life Sciences Fund, which was put together by the city and involved Flagship and Arch venture partners. Alexandria, who's here tonight, Alexandria Life Sciences Center is full, which is amazing, and hosting great events all the time. We have the Accelerator. There's deals. Actually, just this past year, Columbia did 4 bioscience deals that collectively raised $60 million in Series A funding and are all starting and staying in New York, which gives us so much pleasure to see. So it's really amazing. I think what we want to do today is try and figure out what is the origin story for this? How did we get where we are now? And what do we need to do to make sure that we don't lose that momentum? How do we keep it going in the future? So like what's worked and what might work going forward? And then if time allows, we'd love to get into what can other cities learn from what we've done here.